Okay, folks, now we're off to a new series, and this series is all going to be about bodily fluids. The first episode is going to be about blood, but there's lots of body fluids that we could learn about, such as urine, such as sweat, such as tears, and we'll start to get into some other topics too. But I think it's really important for us to understand that biology is not just a class in school. It is something that happens in our body. And if we don't understand what's going on in our body, you don't understand what those blood tests mean, then you're not going to know what your health is like. So let's dispel some of these myths and get learning a little bit about blood. Okay, so when you get a cut, you see you get blood and it's all red, but actually that's not all of what blood is. In fact, it's less than half of blood is actually red. So let's do something called a centrifuge, which spins something around and have a look at what happens to the blood. So when I put the vials of blood into the centrifuge, it's going to spin really, really, really fast, about 3,000 beats per minute. And it's going to go spin, 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 spin. And it's going to separate those into layers. So have a look at those layers and you're going to see that the bottom layer is red and you're going to see that the top layer is yellow. And that yellow layer is the plasma. So plasma is the liquid that's in between your red and white blood cells. And that's where all your nutrients are carried. That's where your oxygen, a little bit of your oxygen's carried. Sorry. That's where your carbon dioxide's carried. That's where your salts are carried. And so the plasma is everything that you eat, everything that you drink, that's going to go into the plasma as well. Any of the things that your cells make as waste, which would be urea, which would be uric acid, which would be carbon dioxide, that's going to go into the plasma and travel through the bloodstream. So that's what the purpose of plasma is. That's what blood plasma is. Then at the bottom, you see about 40% as red blood cells. Red blood cells have only one function, and that one function is to carry blood. Or is it? I'm going to tell you a little bit more about red blood cells in a second that might be interesting for you. And then in between, there's that little tiny layer there that's called the white blood cells, platelets, growth factors. You might have heard of a vampire facial. Well, that's the spot that the growth factors and the exosomes are. And so that is what they pull out when they do like a vampire facial, and they put that in your blood, because when you get a cut, that plasma, those growth factors are where you repair your skin from. And so by putting little needles in your face and doing that on purpose, what you're going to do is you're going to get new skin. So that blood, that's where that blood's coming from in the vampire facial. Okay. So just have a quick look at what the blood looks like inside your bloodstream. So you see the red blood cells going through, and you see that white, that's the white blood cells, and the liquid in between, that's your plasma, where your nutrients and salts are being carried. So the major component of a red blood cell is called hemoglobin, and that hemoglobin has something called a hema group. That hema group contains iron. So if you've ever seen an old car and that old car has rust on it, that's iron mixed with oxygen, and that is what makes our blood red. So the iron inside of our blood mixes with the oxygen, and that makes the red blood cell. The original blood cell was O blood type, and then it evolved to have A and B types. And so when we look at those A and B types, what they're called antigens. And those antigens are actually made of sugar. And when we were evolving, when we had low levels of bacteria because we were living in hunter-gatherer groups, O blood type was beneficial because we didn't have as much infection. But when we started to live in agriculture, we started to live in groups, that AB blood type started to be selected for. I wonder why. Well, it comes down to the membrane. So there's an electron micrograph of a membrane, and there is just a drawing of a membrane. This would be what O blood type looks, just phospholipid bilayer and some proteins. But the A and B blood antigen is on the outside of the red blood cell, and you might recognize those hexagons, and those hexagons are chains of glucose. And glucose, as you know, is nutritious. It's got energy. And so what happened was when the bacteria had the choice of going to the white blood cell, and there was lots of people around, it would basically go in and attack the actual blood cells. By developing the antigens, what would happen is the bacteria would gather all around the antigen, and that would alert our white blood cells, oh no, we're being attacked. So that bacteria would get attacked by white blood cells and it would die. The great thing about that is that they had a little snack to eat on, so they were distracted. They didn't go into the blood cell, and instead they gathered in a clump. The white blood cells knew about it. The bloodstream goes and says, okay, let's kill this. And those A and B blood cells were selected for in evolution. So I looked this up just to make sure that we're true. And I looked in Science Magazine, and basically what happens is these blood cells evolved out of Africa once we started living in farming groups and once we started living in small cities. So I've got that link in the bio. And this is just a distribution of A and B blood types around the world. And you see the original is O blood type, and that's in Africa. And in fact, malaria selects against this. So malaria doesn't like A and B blood cells. O blood cell protects it. Mosquitoes don't like O blood type as much. So there's a protection against malaria. And then you can see in Europe, where cities began, we have a higher percentage of A blood type. And then we have that Central Asia area where we've got B blood type originating. So just in north of India, in Asia, we've got this interesting B blood type. I could talk about all these types of blood because there's a whole bunch more about it, but maybe I'll get to that in another series. But that's a little bit about blood, and the next topic will be urine. Okay, so please like and subscribe. I really appreciate you taking the time.